Neil Woodward writes and sings songs about Michigan's natural beauty, about lumberjacks, shipwrecks, and even the children of lighthouse keepers.
I've faced the winds of change and the drifted sands of time out here on this rocky shoreline. From the moment of my birth, I have seen the beacon shine out here on this rocky shoreline.
His long gray blonde beard sways and brushes against his guitar as he performs. If you saw him playing somewhere, you'd probably say he was a folk musician. But Neil Woodward considers himself someone who carries on the age-old tradition of the troubadour.
Basically what it comes down to is telling people stories through songs, usually. The troubadour's tradition also includes preservation and disbursement of knowledge and wisdom of the culture and history of the people that are involved in the stories.
He travels around the state playing at festivals, at historic sites, and for school kids. The list of instruments he plays is long: fiddle, guitar, concertina, harmonica, penny whistle, and on and on and on.
I only play the things that I can tuck under my arm, to tell you the truth. I don't, the things that you have to walk up to play them, I usually don't play those. Michigan I.O. I'll play it on the concertina here. This is an interesting little song. And if you follow folk music, you might, and especially if you like the old cowboy songs, you might recognize this one. There's a cowboy song that kind of corresponds to this one very closely. Various professions use these same tunes and tend to just insert their own words that have to do with their own lives. This is kind of a snapshot of what the early days of the logging industry was like. Come all you jolly lumbermen, wherever ye may be, I'd have you pay attention, listen unto me, about some jolly shanty boys that did agree to go and spend the winter pleasantly in Michigan I.O.
Neil Woodward grew up in Dearborn. He says he can't remember a time when he wasn't surrounded by music.
I think I took the folk music I learned when I was a kid, just looking around at the way other people have used it or stuck with it. I think I must have taken things a lot more seriously than most people do. A lot of people learn a song like Polly Wolly Doodle or Oh Susanna when they're a little kid, and they think, well, this is something kids do. But I'm not going to sing Coming Around the Mountain anymore, you know. But me, I still sing these things. Like Home on the Range, what a great song. I learned that when I was a kid, as I think we all do. Although I run into kids nowadays that don't know it, which is part of my mission. Part of the thing that spurs me on is making sure that people know these songs, because it's such a huge part of our heritage and our collective wisdom.
He helps to keep these classic songs alive, but he also travels around the state looking for modern people and modern stories that should be told and remembered in song.
People that are restoring lighthouses, for instance, people that are working in the auto plants, or people like the Maritime Heritage Alliance that are doing work every day that is largely forgotten, or that people don't really think about the contributions they're making. So in an artistic way, I'm trying to just state the value of all that, I guess. And then another part of the responsibility is teaching this to children and making sure that we all realize, more than most of us do, that there is a heritage and a culture here that is collective and that we're all a part of. Dawn's first rays find a dreamer at reverie deep in the heart. A vision of grace for the asking, a world where each one does their part. In his dreams he's always a sailor, blown by the winds ill or fair. Nothing more in this life could he ask for than to wake up and find himself there. At heart he is a dreamer, at work he's one of the crew, with this vision of Madeline See what a dreamer can do. See what a dreamer can do.
Neil Woodward says he's honored to be recognized by the legislature for the work he does, though he says he's at a bit of a loss as to how to proceed now that he's the official state troubadour of Michigan. I'm Tamar Charney, Michigan Radio News.
A blanket of stars for the night. At heart she's a dreamer. At work she's the love of the crew. With this vision of Madeline, see what a dreamer can do.